Sean uses a template to hold the willow wands in place.
Here we go then. So, got a nice snug fit there.
That's fine back there, so when
Right,
this is bent over, we've got plenty of room.
It's going to come into there,
yeah.
right, okay.
Yeah.
No two wands are the same, are they?
They're certainly not. That's one of the joys with working wood. The next step is to start weaving them all together to essentially make the gunnels of the coracle. Have you made any baskets at all?
I've made a few baskets, but nothing quite this big, actually. And nothing that I'm going to have to rely so heavily upon if I'm not to drown. So
it's the weaving we do is very, very basic. Nothing special to it.
The coracle was useful for all sorts of jobs, from traversing rapids to catching rabbits stranded in floodwater to fishing.
Okay.
With the sides starting to take shape, it's time to make the seat.
There we go.
Okay, so this is going in here, yeah?
And all the way down. I'm just pulling it up like this, and it's really just this portion here,
yeah,
and the portion on the end here where it goes flat across the bottom. We don't really need to bend it. Bend the willow over a bit and just pull up, and you can feel it flexing.
Oh yeah. I'm worried I'm going to pull it out. Is that?
Snap it. Now we're going to have to pull that one out. We should have got you practicing on another piece.
Earlier in the year, Peter built a hatchery to recreate the Edwardian advances in trout breeding technology. The trout hatched, and Peter left them to grow. But breeding is a delicate science, and their chances of survival were slim. Now he's come to see how the young trout are getting on.
They started hatching in November, so come April now they should be fairly large. So you'd have thought you'd be able to see them. Obviously they're still quite small, but they can't be that small. I can't see a single one. No, seriously, they're not here, are they? Basically what they do is they start looking for food. So they must have gone through that water flow, down here, and then in there. I honestly can't believe it. This is such an exciting project. This is an absolute disaster. It serves me right for not shoring the hatchery up properly. Well, yeah.
Peter's followed the stream to its mouth at the mill pond.
They're in the mill pond, and I can see them. This is a big old pond though. But right now they're small, they're defenceless. The predators probably in the water and out of the water. So, you know, if we want to keep our trout stocks up, we need to rescue them while they're small.
Well, we can really start to see the shape of the coracle coming together now. I think I was just a little bit gung-ho on that first one. Already I can feel it starting to feel like the sort of thing that can support a full man's weight and in water.
Oh, when we've completely woven it, we can stand here.
Right, OK.
So it'll also take a person's weight quite happily. That's really good now.
OK, that's the last ones woven round there. So are we pretty much there?
We're pretty much there. I'll just kneel on top here.
And there we go.
And bounce up and down a bit.
Originally, coracles were covered in a horse or cowhide.
OK, if you just pull the corner out there.
But by the Edwardian period, tar-coated calico was used, a strong, light and waterproof material.
Let's just wrap it right over. Now we've positioned the calico onto the coracle, we need to sew it on.
It's rather more different to sewing buttons on your shirt.
Once stitched, the coracle is complete and should last for years.
So I should really sort of just try it out for size.
Despite household goods being readily available to Edwardians, farmers still made many products themselves. Ruth is making lanolin, a natural fat extracted from a sheep's fleece.
It absorbs really well into the human skin, so you make an awful lot of skin ointments out of it. It's also really good as a grease because it's being a natural thing, it sort of absorbs nicely into things like wood, so helps wherever you've got sort of wooden moving parts, you can use it as a lubricant there.
Ruth is using a copper to warm the fleeces, a large cast iron tub heated from below.
Right, now I've just got to bring this up to the boil, and that will melt all the fats in the wool and allow them to be released from the wool, and they'll start to rise to the top of the vat.
What, they've all gone?
They've all gone. Every single one. They just left.
So you don't have
They didn't stick around, put it that way.
any trout in your hatchery anymore?
No. But
The boys have come to rescue the immature trout from the mill pond.
of little baby trout.
It's the perfect opportunity for a willing volunteer to test out the coracle.
What's this?
That is a 1912 life jacket, as last seen on the Titanic.
We all know what happened to that.
Peter and Alex make a net using cork floats, which they will use to trawl the mill pond for the trout.
Happy?
Yeah.
This is the coracle's maiden voyage, a true test of her seaworthiness.
So it floats. Does it float with a Peter Ginn in it, though, is the question. That first foot's got to go right in the middle. Stay in the middle. Stay in the middle.
Cool, I'm good.
Look, forget the coracle.
I've got to get my hat back.
You do realise every trout in the mill pond has now shot up the stream.
Despite his soaking, Peter finally manages a successful launch. Now all he has to do is catch something.
Your hat, Peter, just behind you.
Oh, yeah. Right,
Right.
let's get trawling.
If there are any trout in here, Peter, they are extremely well camouflaged.
Have we? No fish?
That's about it. No fish, I'm afraid.
This is our last ditch attempt.
Yeah, last ditch attempt. Oh!
What?
There we are. There we go.
Despite their catch, most of the trout have evaded the net. It seems Peter's dreams of being an Edwardian trout breeder are not to be.
So I'll see you back at the cottage, mate, OK?
Wait! Alex! Don't you dare! How am I gonna get out? Alex!
A day later, and Ruth's lanolin is ready.
Now, this is sort of cooled quite a lot now, and all the fats come to the top. You can see it as this sort of, well, it almost looks like butter. So I'll just want to take it off the surface.
Once in the pot, the lanolin will harden, ready to be put to good use. Every morning, the boys have been checking on the pregnant cow, waiting for her calf to arrive.
I think what Sue said, though, about this in here...
The muscles here, yeah?
Yeah. They're still quite tense.
So not imminent just yet.
But first, there's a more pressing concern to deal with.
We're going to have to find ways with which to keep the flies off, and I think the first thing we can do for these teats, because they are getting bitten, they're getting bitten really quite badly, is to get some lanolin on them.
Lucky for us, Ruth makes things in bulk.
But you can see here that she's got problems with the flies. You can see here on my hand, see that bit of blood there. We've actually heard rumours about how bad the flies can be down here. And this is early in the year, and it's quite a cold year, so
There's already a lot of flies about.
This is an ominous sign.
The calves would be the Edwardian farmer's biggest money spinner, so it's essential they keep a constant watch on the cow's condition. But while they wait for their new arrival, the boys have managed to interest their friend Francis Mudge in the prize calf they held back from the drove.
One calf. One red ruby calf.
Well, it's time for us to sort of cash in early on our beef herd, so...
He's looking pretty good, really. Got a nice coat on him.
Your price is going down rapidly if you start doing this. We got to get you on that boat.
If I can't load, I can't point.
Yes, I go.
Come on, let go.
Good, boy.
Come on, go.
Good.
Sit down on the bloody deck, though.
Well, he didn't want to leave home, but...
He didn't want to go, did he? Must like it.
He'll make a good rump steak.
That's harsh.
Lovely job.
Next time we see him, it's on the dinner table.
So where it goes.
I know,
Beef herd.
Back at the cottage, Ruth's been boiling up a nutritious snack of lava bread.
It's taken 10 hours to boil.
10 hours?
10 hours.
So this is going to be like a taste sensation, yeah?
Well, it's quite a strong flavour.
So you had fun down on the foreshore then?
I never knew which type of seaweed it was, you know, because I used to eat this as a kid. For centuries, you know, if everything else failed, if crops failed or, you know, or you were out of work and you had nothing else, you could always go down to the seashore and gather seaweed.
Well, it certainly smells of the foreshore.
It does, doesn't it? Strange, isn't it, that as an island, we're surrounded by all these food sources that we almost completely ignore.
Well, this is like the hedgerow of the sea, isn't it?
So I was thinking the potted shrimps have been pretty good. You know, I thought I might do something like a smokery or something, sort of smoke all the fish coming in off the boats.
Yes, well, Peter and I have managed to acquire ourselves 2 positions as deck hands
Oh, have you?
on a trawler.
Not just any old trawler. This trawler hasn't trawled for 70 years. So who do they employ? Not a couple of fishermen. Alex and I.
A couple of complete novices.
But we'll get fish. We'll get loads of fish.
This coming from the man who managed to capsize the coracle in about 30 seconds of being in it.
Yeah, but the lessons learnt on that day will be employed in our next endeavour.
But before we set out, I've got to make some rope for the boat.
Oh, right, what, for the nets?
Just some general purpose rope for on deck.
Yeah, but I think we should take some of your lanolin, Ruth.
Oh, well, you might as well. It's not doing very much here.
Apparently it was used in a sort of lubricant for the rigging.
I thought you were worried about your delicate little hands there, Peter, for a while.
In preparation for their trawling expedition, Alex has come to see rope maker Ted Baker.
Hello, Alex. How are you?
Very well, nice to meet you.
Welcome to the rope walk.
Great stuff.
Good.
So this is what we're going to be making today then, is it?
That's right. It's made from sisal,
Right.
and it's a fibre. Very thin, grows...
The sisal fibres are spun into a string from which the rope is made.
Right.
But by the time we finish twisting and turning our rope,
Yep.
we'll have a rope that can pull about half a ton.
Right.